Well, the new Freedom of Information bill was filed today in the Senate. And today, the Senate Committee on State Agencies and Government Affairs met more than 5 hours and listened to 28 people tell members of the committee what they think of the proposed changes to the FOIA law. But when the committee just ended moments ago, they did not vote to remove that bill from committee. And we're told there might not be enough votes to get it out of committee.
This bill is drastically different than it was 24 hours ago.
Senator Bart Hester filed Senate Bill 9 this morning. It's the new version of proposed changes to the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act. SB 9 does not contain exemptions for the deliberative process for legislators.
Should be able to see the sausage making. It was a horrible piece of legislation. They recognized that. The people, in essence, revolted against it, and they made that change and took it out. But there's still concerns.
Fort Smith trial attorney Joey McCutcheon spoke against the bill in the committee hearing.
If it smells like a skunk and walks like a skunk, it's a skunk. It's still got major concerns in this bill. It's got an attorney-client privilege exemption that will allow virtually every record to be kept secret. I call it the CC your government lawyer. And then we're not entitled to those records.
According to SB 9, if approved, communications between state leaders and workers that contain legal advice would not be public.
I think that almost everyone in the state of Arkansas agrees that if we are being sued as a state, our preparations for a defense should not be made public to those that are suing us. An example would be the Razorbacks just beat Kent State on Saturday, but we have 10 more games ahead of us. Okay? We shouldn't have to open up our playbook after Kent State to everyone else.
Under SB 9, a person who sues the state over FOIA violations and wins, in order to recover legal fees, a judge would have to rule that the person substantially prevailed and that the state record holder was arbitrary or acted in bad faith.
As written, there's no teeth in this bill because it sets such a high bar for attorney fees. It'll have a chilling effect on the public. They'll never bring lawsuits. The government will just say, well, we had a good reason to not give these records, and this was it. And therefore, a judge may not award attorney fees.
SB 9 still exempts safety details for the governor and her family, as well as other top elected leaders in the state. The bill also exempts direct communications from the governor and her 15 secretary cabinet members, but any actions taken or communications to anyone else would be public.
We have situations that we've seen, even in Little Rock, where a hacker takes over something, and then everything discussing your vulnerabilities in your computer systems have to be public, right? And so it puts you more at danger in those vulnerabilities when you can't discuss some things that I believe almost every Arkansan believes should be able to be protected.
Now, SB 9 did not make it out of that committee. Again, we're told that there might not be enough votes to get it out of committee. The Senate just convened for the day. They won't meet again until 9 a.m. Wednesday. Now, legislators I talked to tell me there is a process to extract it from committee without a vote, but it might require additional suspension of rules. But right now, it's not clear what the fate of the Senate Bill 9 is just yet. Live in Little Rock, Brett Rains, 4029 News.
And as Brett mentioned, there were dozens of concerned citizens who weighed in on the proposed changes to the FOIA laws. People from all walks of life spoke, including journalists and state officials. Some people say the changes are needed to keep the governor safe. Others say information that may seem benign could put the governor at risk. For example, information about who is flying on her plane with her.
There are times that we do have different levels of security on that plane. There are times that we may not have any security on that plane. We don't need people to be able to pattern and look at how we are conducting our everyday business.
I quote from the bill, records reflecting communications between the governor, his or her staff, and the secretary of the cabinet level departments. Why in the world would we think shutting down that much transparency is a good thing?